These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Monday, August 12th, and the Olympics are over. Team USA won gold. We talked about that in the last video, which means it is officially August. It's the August of the offseason where there's nothing to talk about. And I have a bad feeling September might be worse than that, but we're here. We're going to be here every day on this channel and 3 days a week on podcast platforms, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, just like always. Sam, how you doing?
Doing good. Happy belated Victory Day to those listening on Tuesday. Jack, are you familiar with Victory Day? If I told you about the holiday that is exclusive to Rhode Island.
I know what Victory Day is, and I assume it's just from you telling me about it last year. But I don't know.
But anyways, everybody in our state, day off today.
Okay,
Whole
no,
gang.
I'm familiar with the European Victory Day, which is I think the more worldwidely known Victory Day. What is Rhode Island Victory Day?
It's victory over Japan.
Ah,
So essentially, we are all celebrating Oppenheimer.
so my question then is, why is it just Rhode Island?
I don't know. We really held a grudge, I suppose. I have no idea why.
And
we're
also,
the only
based in the article I'm seeing, the events that you're celebrating today happened on the 14th.
It's the second Monday in August every year.
But hey, happy Victory Day, Sam. Hey, happy Victory Day. I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank you. For those of you that are here not for Victory Day, we have a good show for you today. We finally are starting to get some official dates for Celtics games trickling out, so we'll go through those. We have some post Team USA drama. Jayson Tatum posting some things. Peyton Pritchard got married. A member of last year's team will no longer be on the team. And then we have more schedule stuff around the NBA. We'll also go through your emails and, of course, the rat list. So make sure, if you enjoy the show, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Jack mentioned it every single day, something new at 5 a.m. on the channel.
Yes, sir. Crunch Bar underrated. I've been eating more lately. I don't know.
Crunch
I'm
bars
just
are
like
good.
thinking. I know. I haven't had one in a while, and like my mom brought home some of the mini ones from the store because we have this like little candy jar, and she just put them in there. Crunch Bars, good candy. Anyways, let's start with the schedule stuff, like you mentioned. A few tidbits from the Celtics schedule and schedules around the league have been released as of late. The most notable being Celtics versus Knicks opening night. October 22nd, Knicks are coming to town for ring night. People thought it was going to be the Heat. Not the Heat. It's the Knicks. And that'll probably be a really, really good game. Knicks are probably the second best team in the Eastern Conference right now, at least in most people's eyes. Mikal Bridges trade was huge. This could be the first time we're going to get to see him in a Knicks uniform. And obviously, most importantly, Celtics hang the banner. Celtics get their rings. Going to be a very fun night. Is this going to be the... Ooh. Okay, so Svi ruined it. We'll get to Svi signing with the Jazz later. When was the last time a team had nobody else? Like, you know how the Nuggets had to hand Bruce Brown his ring on the Raptors?
Oh, okay, I see.
Right?
Yes. Probably
Celtics
never.
Exactly. Celtics are not going to have a lot of that. Like, before Svi would be 0 times. Like, that's insane to think about, right? Like, they're going to hand a lot of rings on that opening night. But Celtics-Knicks opening night's a fun matchup. I don't know if there's anybody else I'd rather it be. I don't think it matters that much to me. But
I think it'd be fun if it was Philly.
Philly or Miami probably would have been the best.
It would be real funny.
Knicks are like a good third place. Like, Knicks are a good option.
The Knicks, is this the first time they're seeing championship rings in 50 years? Because you have to think, like, the Knicks have been so bad that they're not even really a rival for anybody that's winning championships. So there's no reason for them to be present on a ring night. Like, nobody's like, yeah, we want to show it to the Knicks. Like, everybody just kind of feels bad for them. So now that they've built this anti-Celtics, or the team that is built to take down the Celtics, they have earned a seat at the table, or at least a front row ticket to watch the Celtics hang their banner, which is pretty cool. Seeing how this garden up north will have a new banner, which MSG has not had in quite some time, unless they did one for Billy Joel or something. They don't win a whole lot there. But overall, I can't wait for ring night. It's going to be really cool to see these guys get recognized, to finally get rings. Everybody but Drew getting their first ever. Al Horford, 38, 39 years old now. First NBA championship. It's going to be a special night. It might be a night worth paying to go, even for me, if I don't get in through the Celtics themselves. So we'll see. But I'm very excited. I think Greeny tweeted 71 days. So 70 as you're hearing this on Tuesday, Tuesday. Whew. Count them down.
We're getting there. 70 is not as many as I thought it was. Like I feel
70
like it is
is the worst 70.
It's a long 70.
Hardest 70.
It does feel a little bit shorter than usual, and that's probably because the Celtics played so deep into the season. But then the other things, Celtics at Mavs on January 22nd, Celtics versus Mavs on February 6th. I assume those came from Shams too, and that's just because it's like the finals rematches, but kind of just weird that random leaks are coming from the schedule, and I don't really know. I mean, if anybody was to get them, I know, but it's just like that. This means the schedule is done, right? Or almost done.
Yes.
So what's the deal?
Because you drum up a little bit of buzz. Like morons like us that host podcasts are so starved for content. Actually, we should be thanking them because we're going to get 2 pods worth of content out of this. We're so starved for content at this time of year that it's like, oh, the Celtics are going to be playing a game on this day against this team. Let's talk about it for 10 minutes. And then when the whole schedule comes out, we're going to probably have another 15, 20 minutes of like, oh, first time this team comes to town this day. Like probably rank them top 10 games to look forward to in the new season, which we could probably pre-do, just not knowing the dates. But yeah, I mean, I think the schedule release is a fun part of the summer. I know the NFL has like a huge circle jerk when they do their schedule release. Like all the teams go on social media and try and find.
I feel like that's a little different though.
Creative.
Yeah. NFL is a little different though, because they don't play the same teams every year.
Right. They don't get to play every team because
Yeah.
there's only 17 games.
Yeah. So I always like those two. The NFL schedule releases are fun. NBA does them too. They're just not usually as cool.
Do they? Like
Yeah, they
big
do.
like hype things, really?
Yeah.
The
I
NFL
forget what it was last year, but
the NFL finds a way to make a big deal out of everything. Like they're the epitome of like how like rare things become more valuable because they only play 17 games. Everybody has such a hard on anytime they get to watch football.
I do like football. It is a bit
obviously.
Sure, that's fine. College football's good time. It's a good game.
It's just more fun. Like the games are quicker. They're like different like style of game. Like there's more action. The NFL's whatever.
I had to argue with my friends that the NBA is better than college basketball yesterday, and I said
to each their own. A lot of people love college basketball.
Dude, it's so boring. it's so awful. It like this like it is just we're gonna run around like chickens with our head cut off for 20 seconds of the shot clock and then panic, and then that's gonna be how they play. Like the way that people hate the Celtics for playing ISO, that's what it is, except college basketball is trying to pass. They're just not good enough at ball movement or off ball movement to make it work. Women's college basketball rocks because they're actually cutting off the ball. They're setting screens off the ball. They're screening for each other, stuff like that. That just doesn't happen in the men's game. They just run sets. They don't dribble. It's bad. NBA is just
the thing about college basketball that is cool is there are so many different slots for people to be a part of NCAA and Division I that you do see stray from the meta, meaning like not every single player that's playing college basketball can shoot. Like you do still have like low post presence. Like you still have like more diverse playing styles. Like, and if you're into that, it's more fun. Like I know that people really like college basketball. Like it's more of a team game. But when you do see like, for example, being from Rhode Island, like we see like a lot of PC, like anytime PC's on, like it's usually on whatever station carries college basketball here, we get priority. So like watching somebody like Devin Carter, I have like my impression of him soured because I'm watching him try and be the best guy on a team. And it looks really sloppy because I'm like, wow, he's just taking a lot of bad shots if he has to do everything. But as we learned, like when the draft rolled around, like that's not really what they're going to be at. Like he might be in a small role and really thrive in Sacramento.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. It's not for me. I can't do it. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. With PrizePicks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make a PrizePicks lineup of players across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you're locked in. PrizePicks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Sam and I use PrizePicks all throughout the NBA playoffs as the Celtics were making their run. If you guys tuned into the pregame show, you saw it. We like Drew Holiday blocks. We always pick Jayson Tatum to get a dunk. That was a lock for us. And we always picked less on the opposing stars' points. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Next thing, Jayson Tatum posted stuff to Instagram, and he might not be as okay with the Olympic benchings as people thought. Now, everything that Tatum has said outwardly and directly has been, hey, I'm a team player. I wanted to win gold. That was my priority. It is what it is. However, the other day, Tatum reposted something to his Instagram story, a tweet from Vince Staples, who's a rapper, that said, "We will avenge Jayson Tatum." And he posted it to his story, and then everyone was like, oh, oh shit. Okay, we're here. Also was asked if he'd talked to Kerr about it. He said, no, I stayed professional. I came to work every day. Just stay ready. We got a great group of guys, and I feel like you can tell. And while you feel like you deserve to play, the competitor in you wants to play. Coaches, as a coach for a reason, he makes those decisions. Your job is to stay ready whenever your number is called, et cetera, et cetera. Brian Windhorst on the Hoop Collective also revealed that they kept it to a 10-man rotation based on the FIBA framework, and he decided they could play 10 guys, and Tatum was just the 11th man because the staff evaluated the roster and came to the conclusion that those players in the rotation were ahead of Tatum. And you get it because you put it on here. Tatum can't play off the ball because he can't shoot right now. He was over 16 on jumpers in the Olympics. He hasn't been a good three-point shooter since the playoffs started, really. You got to find a way to play Jayson Tatum. Like, I stand on that. Not. I think both things are true. I also think this didn't really help your relationship with him if you want him back for the 28 Olympics, because realistically, he'd probably be one of the best players in that team. And then there's something Grant Hill was like, Paolo was really close. They really value him moving forward. Clearly, you value him more than Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who arguably could be the two of the top 5 American players on the Olympic roster in 28. And if I'm those guys, I'm undeclaring from Team USA basketball, joining another national team and trying to beat them. But it is what it is.
Tatum and Brown just applying for citizenships everywhere.
Yeah, but clearly Tatum's not too pleased based on his little Instagram post right there.
Yeah, I'm sure he was thrilled. He was thrilled that he took time out of his very small window of off time that he gets because his team actually wins games deep into the season, unlike some of these guys. And he took and cut away that time from his personal life and decided to play for Team USA. And he was met with ridicule and humiliation by Steve Kerr, who decided to sit him, maybe justifiably so, just because like the whole theme of this Olympics was like, oh, you got to get these guys that are on their last go, like give them their send off, whatever, which sure. But they also all of a sudden have interest in the Olympics again after not giving a fuck for 12 years. I don't think LeBron played in 2016 either. Like these guys clearly don't give that much of a fuck about it. I mean, they just all showed up at the end and decided they were going to have their buddy basketball team that they can claim is great and everything, which, I mean, they played great. They won gold. They did what they set out to do. And Tatum just did not have a spot in that, which maybe we all should have kind of guessed going into it with LeBron and KD ahead of him, even though, like, objectively from an NBA standpoint, I think I'd rather have Tatum than either of those guys right now. But from a brand perspective of Team USA and a global game perspective of Silver's pushing anything to do with USA basketball, which he may or may not be, we really don't know. He definitely wants like those guys who are household names and like longtime faces of the league to be the ones representing the country and like people to see them. I suppose you could counter that and be like, well, what about the future? Like, what about when they're gone? Like, you want Tatum's face out there for families watching all over the world. Like, you want them to recognize him. And like, I understand that too, but I think the simple way to do it would be, put the faces out there everyone came to see.
I think both sides are true, and I think the discourse from both perspectives went too far. Tatum's not the best fit because of his offensive struggles, but like, to sit there and say like you can't fit Tatum into this team is stupid. He's one of the best players in the world for a reason. He'd be just fine playing on an on-ball role, off-ball role, cutting, rebounding, and stuff. Like, he absolutely would have been a fine fit, and they still would have won gold with Jayson Tatum on the floor. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because they won it. I think Devin Booker was a fine pick over him, fine play. I think he could have still played 11 or 12 guys. I think it's stupid to act like he couldn't have. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens moving forward. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Jaylen Brown decide not to play, for the U.S. in 2028. I think it'd be really funny if they don't play and Team USA loses. Hilarious. I think that'd be really fun. I think it'd be a fun storyline and a very entertaining thing to follow. But
as a spite man myself, I would love to see them sit out. Maybe even like do what Draymond did and show up at the Olympics just to try and see their biggest haters lose. Like, Draymond actually was the meme of the Rip Bozo guy that shows up to his biggest hater's funeral to make sure he's dead. Like, Draymond did that for Rudy Gobert. Can you believe that? He went across the world for that.
Entertainment right there.
Didn't he tweet, like, what should I heckle him with? Like, what should I say to Rudy Gobert?
I don't know if he tweeted that, but he said, I need to talk to Rudy.
I need to talk to Rudy.
I got to talk to this guy. So that's fun.
I wonder what the root of their beef is.
I
know they got in like the scuffle this year.
Yeah,
Draymond put him in a headlock.
I think Draymond's just adamant that he stinks, and they don't like each other.
Draymond just hates European guys.
Partially.
I want to see him fight Jokic. If you could do an NBA UFC card, like that has to be on there. Jokic brothers in the corner.
Maybe that's why Dario Saric left the Warriors. He was tired of being bullied.
He's probably getting harassed every day in practice. It was
Where's Dario Saric from?
Footage. I think he's from Croatia.
Yeah, good pull. Croatian. I don't know. Tatum thing's weird. I think he should have played. I kind of get why he didn't because of the shooting struggles. You still could have and should have found a way to play him. I think both things are true. I don't think it's crazy to be too upset at either side of it, but I also think it's crazy to go on the end of he had to play no matter what. Like, he was a perfect fit. Like, that's not true. And I also think it's untrue that people thinking he sucks now because, like, stop. Like,
people relish the opportunity to say he sucks.
People hate Jayson Tatum. I don't get it. Like, I get he's a little corny, but like, so is LeBron, so is Steph.
LeBron is
like, so are all these guys. Yeah, all these guys are
so lame. Did you see the video of LeBron stiffing the fan?
No.
Kid wanted a picture with him. He basically told him to fuck off.
Yeah, that's tough.
Good guy.
I won't get mad at athletes for doing that anymore. I get it. I
probably get so sick.
Yeah, I'm not.
Anytime I get just the same with people with Tatum. Anytime I have a chance to throw LeBron under the bus, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get mad at people for that anymore. Next thing we've got is a couple of you described it as the TMC Celtics. So I get it.
You like that?
Just some pop culture stuff, kind of like personal. I don't know. Peyton Pritchard got married to Evan McDonald, who is an
looked
influencer.
Like it was here.
It was on the Cape, yeah. It was on the Cape. Yep. A lot of Celtics
Same
players
place
were there.
You guys stay every year.
Don't think so. Let me see. I want to see. There's a picture of all the Celtics at the wedding, or a bunch of the Celtics at the wedding. I want to find it. Here it is.
Craig was there.
Yep, Coach Craig Luchinat was there. Here's the picture. I could have guessed who posted it. Shock. Here are the fellas at Pritchard's wedding. Jaylen Brown, Jaden Springer, Lamar Stevens, Coach Craig Luchinat, Blake Griffin, Nemish Queta, Sam Hauser, Svi Mykhailiuk, Shea Brissett, and Xavier Tillman in the quarter as well. Pritchard's there. Well, yeah, no shit. There. Pritchard's there. Shock.
Did you see the other picture of Jaylen where it's Jaylen, Pritchard, and forget who the last guy is? Jaylen's absolutely blasted.
Oh, hell yeah,
His face looks like a Picasso in the picture.
Beast. Love that. But the other thing that a lot of people picked up on that was very fun was Mr. Blake Griffin
The man.
officiated the wedding.
And lastly, not lastly, there's a lot, but the last one I'll share is at no point tonight am I allowed to do my impersonation of Peyton.
He said, yeah, for if audio listeners couldn't pick up on that, Blake Griffin said, this is from Jalen's Instagram story, said, at no point tonight am I allowed to do my impression of Peyton. So definitely don't come up to me when Peyton's not around and ask me to do it. I love Blake
Peyton
Griffin,
Pritchard
man.
is so quiet and reserved that I can't even internalize and imagine what a Blake Griffin impression of him would be.
I can. I think Peyton Pritchard talks and his mannerisms are in such a distinct way. Like he is
Okay.
very like, I don't know how to describe it, but
He
I
talks
can
like
see
a guy
how
whose
somebody.
dad made him dribble basketballs in the garage until his hands bled.
I suppose. No, I can. You can tell. You can tell.
No, he definitely has like a basketball robot sense about him.
He's definitely a bit robotic. I think. Oh yeah. Last thing we already mentioned. Svi he was in that picture at the wedding. Svi has signed with the Jazz. 4-year, 15, right? 4-year, $15 million contract
Yeah.
for Svi Mykhailiuk joining the Utah Jazz. Good for Svi. I'm happy for him. I didn't know if he was going to find a contract. But I'm glad he did. I like Svi. Svi's a good guy. I'm gonna miss him in Boston. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, this is like almost surprising. All of our, I mean, one, our show, two, our friends like that are on this beat. We all kind of felt like Svi was like around last year for the ride. And then he was going to go to Europe because before he joined the Celtics, there were tons of rumors he just was going to go back to Europe and play there. Now he wins a ring and he signs a 4-year deal to play with the Jazz, and he's making like decent money. Like that's over $3 million a year. Not bad at all for a guy who was the 14th, 15th guy on a championship team last year. He'll probably be able to actually play some minutes for the Jazz as they try and figure out what they want to be doing.
Do you know what I bet they're doing with Svi? They're, you know how they,
him?
Yeah, they brought in Simone Fontecchio, let him play a little bit, show off his shooting on a consistent basis, flipped him to Detroit for a first or a couple seconds or something. I mean, they're not the exact same players, but Simone is 6'8", Svi's 6'7". Simone shot 39.1% from deep with the Jazz before getting traded. Svi shot 38.9% with the Celtics this year. Like you can see the comparisons, at least in the shooting category. Svi probably does a little bit more with the ball in his hands, a little bit more creative, a little bit more athletic. Simone's probably a better raw catch and shoot 3-point shooter than Svi, but you can see the similarities in the sense that probably makes sense for the Jazz to take a chance on another guy. They could build into this better shooter and then flip off and to another team. And Danny probably has a relationship with people in Boston, i.e. his son. So he probably knows some good things about Svi. So yeah.
It's an interesting method of building a team, right? Like they are essentially taking flyers on guys, but they're taking flyers on them not to build with them, but to just be like, I think this guy is going to be good enough to garner interest at the trade deadline. So we're going to see how many resources we can get back for him. It's an interesting new strategy from Danny Ainge. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play out in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, like Fontecchio was a guy last year. They got a couple picks for him. Utah's a team that's going to need to build through the draft, especially if for like the extreme long haul, where he's going to maybe play out his extension in Utah. Sounds like he wants to be there. It doesn't sound like he's like raring to get out the door and go play for a contender. Like he's very happy. And so if that's the case, it almost feels like if you're Utah, it's a very bad look to trade him, because then the small contingent of players who actually want to play for your franchise are going to be like, shit, that guy actually wanted to be here and they traded him. What are we doing?
Yeah. Also, though, let me make this perfectly clear. This Jazz team sucks. Like all the years of, the Jazz were good that one year, maybe they compete for play, and they're gone. That's not a thing anymore. I'm gonna read you their roster, Sam. Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Taylor Hendricks, Cody Williams, Drew Eubanks, Keontae George, Svi Mykhailiuk, Walker Kessler, Johnny Juzang, Bryce Sensabaugh. Bad. Not a good roster. In the Western Conference, they are the second worst team, and the Blazers might be better than them if Scoot Henderson takes a jump. And they just traded for Denny Avdia. There is a very real chance the Jazz are the worst team in the Western Conference next year. So I get
It's
extending
fair.
Lauri Markkanen, but if there's ever a time for them to sell everything else and then deal with Markkanen next summer, it is right now. Whether it's fee, but like you need to get Cody Williams a bunch of run. You need to get Keontae George a bunch of run. You need to play Isaiah Collier a little bit. You need to play Sensabaugh. You need to see what you can get for Walker Kessler, John Collins, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson. Play Taylor Hendricks. Like this can't be we can maybe be good. No, Utah. Hate to break it to you, not going to be good. Loves Svi that he's going to get playing time because he should genuinely get playing time over there. He's still only 27, right? He's in the prime of his career. He's still got time, but they're going to be ass.
He's going to now have an opportunity to actually like get in a rhythm, though. Somebody in the comments of our Team USA wrap-up video was talking about how it's difficult for Tatum to make shots. I mean, obviously 0 of 16 in the Olympic play, but when you're not out there consistently, somebody like Tatum, who's used to being the guy on a team, is all of a sudden like, shit, I got to make these very few amount of shots that I get to take. Svi Mykhailiuk had a very similar role with the Celtics last year. Oddly enough, hate to compare Tatum to Svi at this point. But really, he didn't get out there very often. And when he did, you could tell he was just so ready to shoot the ball because that's what he's there to do. He has to prove he can still do it as a professional athlete. That's half the game, is just being like, yes, I can still do this thing that I've always been good at. And in Utah, he's actually going to get the chance to do that in real minutes, in real games, with real rotation players on the other side. So it'll be a big couple of years for him to prove himself in the NBA.
Mhm.
But congratulations to him. He got paid probably way more than we thought he was going to get paid. For
Yeah,
longer, I think, is the real surprise.
Yeah, that's the key. I thought he'd get a minimum somewhere, if anything, but he got a little bit more than that. So I'm happy for him. I like Svi. He's a good guy. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. I remember my dad taking me to Fenway Park as a kid, getting to watch David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia sitting in the Green Monster and taking in all there is to love about the iconic ballpark. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Taking a look at my Game Time app right now, I see plenty of great deals to watch my favorite sports teams and my favorite tickets to Noah Khan. You guys know that's my favorite artist. I even used it while in Las Vegas for Summer League to get tickets to a women's basketball game. Some of my favorite features in the Game Time app include letting me see what the price is going to be with fees included. It makes so much easier to take a look and see what the actual price I'm going to pay is. Also, you get to see exactly where you are sitting. It's a great way to know exactly the experience you're going to get. I also love the fact that you can get great last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything else. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Anyways, let's go to the email here. Let's check in with what y'all had to say. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. We read the emails every single full podcast, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Check in there. Starting with RJ. He says, Olympic weirdness. Hey, folks, writing this about 90 minutes before the men's basketball gold medal game starts. I'm not going to cut Curry much slack on his rotation choices, but I will say that a roster where you are managing the requirements of Bron, KD, and Steph has to add a wrinkle to things. That said, I cannot see any reason why at least one of the three Celtics shouldn't be on the floor at all times. I either need guard defense or you can use Tatum's rebounding at a minimum and help reduce your opponent's scoring opportunities. I have no idea what Curry is going to do today. I wonder if Steve even has a clue. As I said, the same in the comments of his Celtics blog article. I can't bring myself to root against Team USA, but I won't be heartbroken if fan wins this in front of its home fans. Be well, RJ. France tried. They just couldn't stop Steph Curry, which is fair enough.
They got a very unlucky draw at the end of that game where Steph Curry decided the basket was an ocean. Some of the shots he was taking were absolute ridiculous.
The last
bombs,
one was
like
nuts.
Double teams falling away over two guys, which is a double team. I don't know why I said it twice. Double teamed the phrase. But yeah, he just caught fire. Very tough break for France. And they gave it a really good shot. Like I thought USA might actually lose that game at the end. They were kind of melting down, but France couldn't quite get over the finish line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Wemby played well. He just couldn't find a shot a little bit, and Gershon was good, so they didn't have enough juice. And Steph is Steph. So, RJ, 5 items to argue about in August. Morning, folks. Well, the day we all knew would arrive is finally here. The Olympics delayed it, but it's August, the month of the NBA. Forgot. Celtics fans are fortunate as training camp starts early with C's playing in Abu Dhabi on my birthday, but it still leaves a good month to kill. So here are some things we can argue about
RJ in
during that
October,
time.
baby, too. Respect.
It's true. Number one, what the hell was Steve Kerr thinking? The only person he didn't put on the court ahead of JT was that Australian breakdancer, but I'm guessing that was just because she wasn't a U.S. citizen. Fandom is known for anything. It's our ability to beat a dead horse, so let's get at it. We already did that. Start of the
That
show. You're
horse.
welcome.
Don't tell
Yeah.
PETA.
Number two, which of the 4 backup bigs will show the most improvement? I'm including Watson in the mix along with Luke, X-Men, and Nemi because he seems to have a good grasp of his abilities. How quickly can Anton play at the NBA speed is my big question.
I think you might see a Nemi year.
I think Nemi's going to show the biggest improvement, but I think X is going to show the most increase in opportunities, if that makes sense. Like from what Nemi was last year to what he'll be this year, I think that'll be the biggest gap. But I do think Xavier Tillman will receive the most biggest increase in opportunities because of how similar he is to Al and his versatility. I think that's going to be kind of how it plays out, which is good. I think both of them are going to be really, really good and important for the Celtics this year. And it wouldn't surprise me if both of them are, I don't want to say fully ahead of Luke just because I think he's built up that trust with Joe Mazzulla enough where he'll still get a bunch of opportunities.
He's always solid.
Yeah, I think you'll see Nemi and X get a lot of chances this year sometimes and usually ahead of Luke Cornett.
Yeah, I think Nemi just has the most exciting ceiling of the group.
He also has the most room to grow from where he came from.
Yes, absolutely. He was, especially at the beginning of last season, he was very raw, very similar to a young Rob Williams, where he's not very disciplined on the defensive end. He has a big body. He can make his presence known on the glass on both sides of the floor, and he's a decent dunker at the rim. Not the greatest finisher at the rim. The touch isn't quite there, which is why he racks up the offensive rebounds. But if he's able to hone that skill as well as factor or sprinkle the jump shot in, which Jack and I and many of the other beat reporters have seen him working on before games, it could be something that elevates his game to the next level, which isn't the highest level, but it's better than he is now. As for Tillman, his skill set seems the most ready to help the Celtics now. I know you predicted his rise in minutes. Something we've seen with Mazzulla as the coach and now his 2 sample size seasons is guys who are on the fringe, not exactly getting minutes. Remember the outcry for Tillman to get minutes in the playoffs. Everyone's like, why isn't he playing? It was similar with Sam Hauser the season before. And once Joe develops the trust in those guys, he's far more willing to put them out there. He is a big time trust guy. So look out for Tillman to get more time this year. Going over to the Cornet, just quick. He has been somebody who every time they ask him to go out there, usually does the most solid job possible. Low ceiling, but high floor every time. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Third question RJ posed, who gets more minutes this year, Baylor Shimer and Jordan Walsh? Keep in mind, neither of them are likely to log lots of minutes. Whoever wins out, maybe a max of 500 over the 82-game season. Walsh knows the Celtics system and has a year playing in the G League and NBA speed. Shireman has more physical maturity and better passing skills, but needs to ramp up on the system and the game speed. Of course, we could all be surprised to see Drew Peterson emerge from the pack. I think Shireman gets more minutes than Jordan Walsh this year.
Shireman's body is more NBA ready.
Yeah,
I know RJ
I think
mentioned it.
Shireman is just at more NBA ready, period.
I mean, Walsh didn't do himself any favors in the summer league. He looked lost out there. This was the opportunity for him to be like, look at me. I'm nasty now. And we'd all be like, oh, man, watch out for Jordan Walsh. Instead, we're like, oh, watch out for Jordan Walsh. We don't want to be under the basket when he's shooting. With Shireman, he displayed an incredible sense for the game. He is more built for the NBA. He seems stronger than Walsh, even though Walsh has put on some muscle. And he's older, so he just naturally is more developed. I think he can play in spots. I don't anticipate either one of them getting a ton of time, but with how strong the Celtics roster is, there are going to be times when games are over. So you're going to get some sense of what they can do on an NBA court, even if it's against Svi and the boys on the other end.
I think Baylor is going to get the Svi minutes. Not what you said that. I think that would make the most sense, which isn't a lot, but it's still more than Jordan got. Fourth question. A discussion on how the Celtics are limited on their trades this season. Now the Celtics are beyond the second apron. Does that mean their midseason trades? What does that mean for both their midseason trades in terms of both players and draft picks? I confess I'm still trying to track that information. It means they can't do much. It means they can probably make similar trades to the one they made this past year. But even then, like, they'd have to trade, like, they don't really have those guys to trade anymore, actually. They don't have Lamar Stevens and Delano Banton. They have Luke Cornett and Nimi Ishkeda. So if the Celtics make a trade this year, somebody likes is gone.
Well,
that's just kind of how it is.
I feel as if once Porzingis is back, whichever big guy they're, except for Watson, that they're least excited about could be on the way out.
If they need to. If they need to make a trade at all.
Yeah, if they need to. To me, as much as I hate it, it feels like it might be Cornett. Just because with what we said, Tillman is different than the other two guys. He's far different than Cornett. He's far different from Nemi. If Nemi takes a step forward like we're somewhat anticipating he might, he may be good enough to eat those Cornett minutes.
I don't think they trade Cornett. I think they like Cornett too much as like a personality. Like they didn't have a relationship with Lamar Stevens and Delano Banton. Not even the business side. I think they just like him. Like I don't think they're gonna think of it like from
businesses. I mean, like just everyone's morale.
Yeah. I don't think they'd trade a guy that everyone likes like that. I don't think the Celtics will make a trade this year. Unless something drastic happens, I don't think they make a trade.
I hope there's not a period of time this year where people are like they need to trade.
Yeah,
as good as it would be for us to get views.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. Fifth question: what can we expect from Drew Carter now that he is sliding behind the mic for all the Celtics games? What are we looking forward to? A full season of pop culture references sailing over scouts' heads. What do we like about the calls? What would we like to see him tone down? How tall is he anyway? I think he's like 6'3".
He's around our height.
Our height, yeah, he's like 6'3". If that was a real question, I like Drew Carter. I'm excited. I am entertained listening to him. He's a really nice guy in general as well. If you'd like some behind the scenes, he's just a good dude. So I'm pumped to see him get behind the mic for the full season.
My favorite thing about Drew Carter, one, I think he's done a good job as separating himself from Gorman, but still being good. But two, I love that he goes back and forth with Scallon. Like they kind of have a fun jest of like roasting each other. Like the first time Carter was like, 2 for 1 here, Scal last year. I was like, oh shit, he gets it. He understands that this man has like 2 tricks he goes to. He goes green light special and 2 for 1, guarantee. So I like his willingness in like just not being intimidated by Scal enough to go at him. It's really fun.
Yeah, I like Drew Carter a lot. I really like his style. I think it'll be good. Bonus question. Really, what was Steve Kerr's deal? Was it an infestation of brain weevils or an orbital mind control laser? Have fun and be well, RJ. Yeah, I don't know. So, whatever, man. I'm over this.
Thinking about March 3rd.
Yeah. Is that when they play the Warriors or something?
Yeah, that's when they beat the piss out of them.
I see. I didn't know that was released too. Where did you see that?
No, that was the game last season when they won.
Oh. I thought you were talking about Tatum, not Steve Kerr. I see. All right. Last email from Joe. I'll get rid of the email. It says, here comes the dead. Whatever. Hey, guys, now that the Olympics are over and our guys are champions again, here comes the dead point of the NBA. It's going to be a real grind to October, so I want to suggest some ideas for content. My God. Okay. I'm going to read through these. I'm going to read through these quick, and then we can talk about our favorites. So we're not stopping every 2 seconds. 1, who's retained in an expansion draft. 2, besides Seattle and Vegas, cool cities for expansion. 3, over underrated NBA cities. What would each Celtics player do if they were an NBA player? Danny Ainge, the GM, retrospective, move by move from 07 to 2021. Brad Stevens, retrospective, move by move 22 to now. How would Tommy Heinsohn commentate this team? Random places Celtics could play preseason games. Possibility of regular season games / IST taking place overseas. Joe Mazzulla as a coach for the USAB 26 Cup / 28 Olympics. Assistant coach deep dive, looking to roles within the Celtics front office corporate that casual fans might not know about. Addressing Jaylen Brown community outreach as a summary of the last few years. Invite an NBA player, coach, commentator on board. Get Drew Carter. He's a great interview. More crossovers with first to the floor folks. No, we're not. Don't lie. We haven't reached out to him.
We have tried.
Don't make it out like he's actively ignoring us. We've tried. Maybe we'll try again. More crossover with First and
Gain.
Four Folk and other Celtics podcast media. I can think of more, but just a massive omelet, and I'm going to knock it out. Slander, Jesus Christ. Sick of Twitter, the insane amount of politics and mouth breathing level takes across all subjects. But NBA Twitter's gotten ridiculous with the Celtics /JT slander. Shot sucks right now, but I'm faithful. Flicks it over time. But dudes over there are acting like he's Uncle Phil's personality in Ben Simmons' brain and Tobias Harris's body. They're just jealous that the Celtics champions and the teams got their butts flattened, fried, smoked, flambéed, sauteed, and served back to them on a green and gold platter. Also, Steve Kerr, bum. Thanks, Joe.
These are legitimate good topics, if not for the show, for articles. So thank you. If we don't do them on here, I'm probably going to steal some of them for Celtics blog because we have 2 months before there's real stuff to write about again. Thank you very much for writing in. I think the prospect of the in-season tournament being played somewhere globally would be really fun. I think the expansion stuff is pretty fun. And, Jack did the assistant coaches thing. So if you're interested in those guys, Jack has a few articles up on Celtics blog about it. Did a really great job researching everybody.
Yeah. I think Buck's the only one that left. Ross still here, Craig's still here, Tyler's still here to my knowledge, and Phil, Pressy's still here too. So they're all still around. You can go check those out. Thank y'all for the emails. A reminder again, hbtcpod@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us. We'll read them every pod. We appreciate you very much. NBA section, there's not much. There's not much NBA stuff. Really all we have is some other so we can go over some of the other schedule stuff from around the league, I guess. Let's see. Wolves, Lakers opening nights, Bucks, Sixers season opener, Suns, Clippers season opener, Mavs at Warriors November 12th. That's what I got for you. That's all there is, man.
A little bit of context for these. Maybe they make the Wolves Lakers game for the 5 titles in Minnesota. Who gets to claim them? Bucks Sixers. Who's going to be the next stepping stool for the new top teams in the East? Are people going to remember the Bucks? Are the Bucks going to come out with a vengeance? You get first look at Paul George and Philly against a real competitive team in Milwaukee. Suns Clippers, debut of the Wall in the new Clippers arena. Kind of exciting. Clippers finally have their own place now. It's pretty cool that they're not going to have to cover up the Lakers banners every time they play a home game. And then Mavs at Warriors. This is obvious the Clay return. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure they'll have a lot of pomp and circumstance for Clay. Had a great career there. We have a very, very small slate of games that have already been announced, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other exciting ones. It'll be really fun to see another Timberwolves Nuggets matchup this season after the way Game 7 went down last year with Minnesota coming all the way back on the road to win in Denver. It was a really sad end for Denver and their fans. So a few things for sure.
Yeah. I'm just excited to have basketball back. So I guess schedule.
It's only been a day.
It's fine. Yeah, I know. NBA basketball. It's different. NBA basketball is different than anything else. I need the league back, man. I want to be at games again. Anyways.
I'll be excited.
I think that's literally all there was for NBA. So ratless time, I guess. This could be a short pod that there's literally welcome to August, baby. Hey.
We'll be getting some guests on throughout the week, hopefully.
Yes.
And, more of our friends. We'll talk to them.
Yeah. All right, Sam, ratless. What did you got?
All right. I'm going to say rat list, driving 45 minutes to get coffee. I went with a few friends this morning. You ever have friends that'll hype something up to you that's just normal?
Yes.
So Ray, the rat fuck, he's hyping up this drink. What do they call it? A chippy? At this place called Mirasol's Coffee in Dartmouth. So Dartmouth is like 45 minutes from where in Mass. It's like 45 minutes from where we all met up. But I had a good time. Like, I'm not saying I didn't have a good time. I like going for a ride with the boys, like whatever.
Sure.
It basically just tastes like coffee milk. Like we had
coffee
like
milk's
that.
Good, but
yeah. But like our state is famous for, you can go to the store and get coffee milk. You don't need to go over there.
Good time.
And then this place has like merch. You know, like local spots that'll have like their own merch, but it's overpriced. So Frank buys a $35 t-shirt. Good luck. it was a good morning. Like I had fun. I'm glad I went. Like everybody had a good time. But the goal of going, not completely worth it compared to like just coffee I get at my regular coffee shop. I'd much rather just have that.
Yeah, I agree. Ratless sleep.
Knew it.
Can't do it. Well, yeah, no shit. No shock, right? I haven't been able to sleep right for the past like 2 weeks. I don't know what happened. But so this weekend I was in Boston with my buddies, and I was like on the couch, and we stayed up late. We're rebuilding BC on like the living room TV in the apartment I'm living in soon. So we're just like, the boys are rebuilding a team together, right?
Yep.
I was up till 3 doing that, and we had to be at the place to watch the soccer game at like 10:45 the next morning, which is like fine. So I went to go to sleep, couldn't fall asleep, didn't fall asleep till 6:30, cooked. Next night, didn't fall asleep till late again, had to be up early to come home for family stuff. So I came home, I slept from like, I don't know, 11 to 3, took a nap midday. Last night, couldn't sleep again. I got in bed, tried to go to sleep at like 1:45, 2, which is late, but it is what it is. Did not fall asleep until 9 a.m. And I would have tried harder. I could have gone to sleep probably around 7, but I had to drive Henry to work. And so I had to get up and drive Henry to work at 7:30. And I didn't get home till like 8:15, 8:30, and then I fell asleep by 9.
Because then you're like, when you're trying to fall asleep, you're thinking to yourself like, oh my God, I have to fall asleep soon or I'm going to be tired and I'm not going to get enough sleep. And then your brain's working. But one thing I will say is I almost feel like you should just stay up as long as you can so your body has to go to sleep.
Right now?
If you want to like reset this, maybe that's the solution. Like, I don't know. I can't speak to this. Like, I'm having trouble envisioning being dead tired and not being able to go to sleep.
Yeah. I don't have to tell you.
I understand it's happening. Like, I'm not denying it.
I'm
It's
not
just,
dead
like,
tired, though. I don't feel tired.
You don't feel tired.
No, I just sit there. I'm just there.
Maybe you're gonna like tuck yourself out or something.
What do you want me to do?
Go for a walk for like an hour. Not in the middle of the night, but like
Yeah,
during the day, like make your body do something that it's like, fuck, I need to recover.
I mean, I was out walking all day on Saturday and it didn't do shit.
And it didn't do anything. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Chat, what should Jack do to
I just need to go
learn how to sleep again?
I just need to get melatonin and knock myself out at night.
You need to just start running head first into like the doorway or something.
I guess.
Put yourself to sleep.
I don't know, man. It sucks. Shit's ass.
Rat List is wishy-washy fucking friends, man. So there's a show that we would all like to go see. And I was like, hey, this show's happening. We should all go. 2 weeks ago when I found out about it. Dude comes in the chat like, oh yeah, it's like $120. Like people are like, yeah, I'm interested. Nobody takes action on this. So on Saturday, I revisit it. I'm like, hey, this show is coming up. We should go. Let's look at tickets. It may not even actually have been me that brought it up. It might have been somebody else. I don't remember. And I look and I'm like, oh, like it costs this much to go. And they're like, oh, like I don't know. Like I got this going on. And I get it. People have budgets. You can only spend so much. You have to like think of future you first. Like completely understand. But at the same time, just say no then. Don't be like, oh, maybe we'll revisit it. Because in the moment when you said no, I shut my brain off to this. I'm like, it's not happening. We're not going. It's fine. Then today, all of a sudden, I'm getting messages again. Oh, looks like I can go, actually.
When is it tonight?
No, it's not today. It's this weekend.
Oh, I see.
And I'm just like, now that we waited 4 days or 3 days, whatever it was, it might not have been Saturday. It might have been Friday to Thursday, whatever day I was on Xbox with everybody. The prices are up like $50. You delayed this because you were worried about spending money. And now you're going to have to spend more money. This is ridiculous.
People can make up their mind.
Just ultimately, like, you could just pay somebody back. Like, we're all close friends. It's not like we're, like, adjacent, like, strangers. Like, it's not like I don't trust you. Like, I'll be like, yes, I'll, like, cover your ticket. You could pay me back. Everybody wins. Even if you have to pay me like over a couple weeks, I don't care. If you want to go, like we should all go. Oh, that pissed me off today. And the person that like turned it down, when you ever have friends that like when you're proposing a plan, if they can't go, they will just swat it down instead of being like, I can't make it, but you guys have fun. You're like,
Yeah,
I don't know, like can't do it. They just throw negative shade at it. I hate it.
Yeah, it sucks. That's lame. Trying to think what else. There was no negative, like there's no ratless stuff this weekend. It was good. I took a video. I vlogged for the ratless this morning on my ride to work with Henry. Hold up, let me send it to myself.
You vlogged with Henry?
You'll understand. I took a video for the ratless because I was angry.
And you really almost forgot about this.
Yeah. I've slept for 7 hours since then. So yeah, I did.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right, fair.
please excuse me.
Of course you're not tired right now then.
Yeah, no shit. I slept from 9 to 3. I'm sleeping fine hours. It's just the wrong hours. Let me send it to myself. So I was driving Henry to work and pull up on this main road and it's stop traffic. Like line of 12 cars the other way, line of 6-7 cars my way that's building up. So they're like, what the hell is happening? Like it is 7 in the morning. Why is there this much traffic? This dumb motherfucker was trying to parallel park look at this shit. This is not allowed. He's trying to parallel park this like big gardening truck or whatever.
Is he parallel parking or is he backing into a driveway?
I don't know. And it doesn't look bad here because I videoed late. He pulled out and readjusted 4 different times. You get one chance. I'm sorry. You get one shot, and if you fuck it up, get in and figure it out later. You get one chance.
Here's what I'll say. I don't think that this driver is correct. I think ultimately, if you're on a main road and you're having a situation like this where you have to get in the driveway, it's tough. But in this situation, there's clearly another street right next to wherever they're trying to go. So the smart move would be to pull into that street and just park there and move your equipment in as needed. The reason why they have to back in is because it's far more dangerous to back out later when they're trying to leave.
You get one shot. If you can't do it in one shot, pick a different job. You can't do that. Can't do that. Not allowed. Yeah, it's just that can't happen, buddy. You got to be more on top of your
holding people up. It's shameful.
Yeah. It was like 12, 13 cars deep of people getting held up. We were there for like at least 2 full minutes. Just waiting for this dude. Can't happen.
That'll ruin your day. Especially you. You're probably ready to go. Was this before or after you dropped him off?
Before.
Oh, okay. Well, he was probably nervous. He was gonna be late for work.
I was delirious. He was asleep, this fucker.
He shouldn't be allowed to sleep if
nerve of this motherfucker.
Oh man.
I have nothing else.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, in that case, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of our daily uploads. New content at 5 a.m. Pods Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Game recaps the morning after games during the season and other videos in between to keep you busy. We'll be here no matter what. You should be here too. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All of our podcasts and game recaps are there for you. If you follow, they go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You saw RJ do it today. You saw Joe do it today. Get in on the fun. Every time we do a pod, we go through the mailbag. We love to hear from you guys. Celtics thoughts, nonsense thoughts. It really doesn't matter. We love when you guys are involved with the show. hbtcpod@gmail.com. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at JacksMoneNBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.